Greetings, I'm your host, NS2 Xenophon, and this is CAOS. Today we'll be bringing you a sneak peek and developer let's play of the upcoming CAOS Reinforcements update. We'll be showing some of the changes coming in that, as well as some just general gameplay features. Joining me today to help with a co-op match against AI will be Joe. He's one of our senior beta testers. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Joe. I've been testing CAOS for a little over a year now, so I'm pretty familiar with it. I will be commanding the forces of France 1940. And we'll be going up against Germany 1940, so it should make for an interesting and explosive match.
Yes, Joe will be bringing France 1940. I'll be bringing Great Britain 1940. This is on the Somme battlefield. Of course, some of you who are familiar with the region may recognize some of these places as locations of great battles in the past, especially in the First World War. But we'll be coming back to the war in 1940, and obviously this did not historically go well for the Allies, but we'll see if in this hypothetical match if we can make it go somewhat better. Here's hoping. In terms of my force composition, I'll be bringing a British infantry division, specifically the 1st Infantry Division, as well as the 1st Armored Division, which I have battle grouped up in a rather more efficient way than was used historically. We'll get into the details of that later. So, Joe, what are you bringing on the French side of things?
On the French side, I'm bringing a similar force composition. I have one infantry division and one battle grouped armored division with mechanized units to help supplement that French armor. We're going to be heading out towards the east over here between Amiens and Doullens. Hopefully, we're going to get there before the opponent does, try and stuff an advance off to our flank. I also have the infantry division assisting the fight in the middle too, so here's to hoping we can have a solid defense. I also have a unit of Char B1s with French mechanized. They're going to be my heavy reserves, and should be able to inflict a fair bit of punishment over Germans.
Yeah, as long as they don't, break down on the way to battle like half of them did historically, they should actually be fairly deadly.
Yeah, thankfully they're not far from the front, so
yeah,
don't have to drive far.
that far. Yeah, tactically, if we can get to Amiens and blow up the bridge there, I think we'll be in a pretty good position. The Germans can, of course, fix it, but that will be time wasted on their part. This will be a 15-turn scenario. Every 3 turns, there will be a reinforcement phase where both sides will bring in new forces, so we're going to play fairly, I don't want to say wastefully here, but let's just say we're not going to regard the lives of our personnel that highly. We're going to use these infantry units to simply slow down the Germans. The entire point of this infantry defensive line is simply to waste their time, and then once the Germans have been ground down a bit, we will deploy our armored units as reserves to stop any breakthroughs and just to buy time for more reinforcements with the objective of stringing the scenario out to the time limit and then winning by still controlling the objective at the very end. So I'm going to quickly kick this over into orders phase, and I'm going to quickly breeze through the British orders. They're going to be pretty simple this turn, in all honesty. Going to get a force out west, get the artillery and fire support. And for viewers who are not familiar with the orders of battle here, these units which are shaded gray on our blue, those are Joe's. The units which are khaki with the white facings are, of course, British. In terms of our air, we actually have very limited air assets. We're going to be bringing a few fighters. We'll bring in new air squadrons as the game progresses. And that will be a wrap for my British orders phase. I'm going to kick this into turn, if you do the same, Joe.
Yep, sending it now. The artillery I have with the Char B1s has a range of 2, so if you need fire support anywhere on the line,
okay, yeah, that'll be good. Because I have some 25-pounders, which are obviously really good and have 2 range, but I also have a lot of World War I era 4.5s, which do not have range at all.
Yeah.
A nice howitzer if you're sitting completely still shooting in a trench. They're great for that, but that's not what we're doing. My suspicion,
I imagine they're going to be on us right away.
Yeah, my suspicion is at the end of turn 1 we'll already have combat. At least we'll have contact. So let's see, going through the impulses.
Will I make it to Amiens? I did.
Oh, the SS is here. Interesting to see them this early in the war. And we have a breach in the line, because of course we do.
Yeah.
Because it's
quite hard. Oh.
Oh dear.
We have a problem.
Okay, so let's see.
The Panzer Regiment is up the middle.
Yeah, so it's elements of the 1st and 2nd Panzer Divisions in the center. Let's see who's in the west.
5th Panzer Division.
5th and the 3rd, and Totenkopf. Okay, of course it's Totenkopf in the east.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, hopes and prayers to the boys in Amiens. They're going to need them.
Yeah. Yeah, they will.
So let's take
Well,
a quick
let's...
look. Yeah, they're fairly strong in the middle. Our French infantry regiment, the 22nd Regiment of Infantry, got pretty badly mauled. Most of the support weapons got destroyed in that battle.
Yeah, it took a pretty nasty hit.
So we'll take a quick look here at some game mechanics, because we've had some players asking for further explanation of combat and of impulse system, which we'll be getting to later in this video as well. So if you take this battle, it's Impulse 5 Hasty Assault. So what the Germans did is they came up to contact and they hit us 5 times over the space of 5 impulses. And in this battle, of course, you have your combat statistics and all of that, but you'll notice that the defenders, us as the allies, we did not have combined arms because we didn't have armor, so we didn't get that lovely plus 30% combined arms modifier the Germans did for having infantry, armor, and artillery. But combat is broken down to 2 phases, and in phase 1 is armor combat, where anti-tank guns and tanks suppress each other. Vehicles suppressed in armored combat, they're not destroyed. Instead, they only contribute half of their combat value to the actual close combat. And then the close combat's where all the actual killing happens, where this was actually a fairly even battle, but you'll notice that we didn't really kill anything important, just some infantry. This was a fairly inconclusive battle. All battles are composed of those 2 parts. Obviously, in the early war, it's a lot less important because the anti-tank guns are often pretty terrible, but you really notice it in the late war, especially when heavy tanks and Panzerfausts are in play. Those AT numbers can get really high.
Oh yeah, especially for infantry.
Yeah.
It gets really helpful.
Yeah, in the early war, infantry obviously is at a huge disadvantage against tanks, as historically was very obvious, but in the late war the balance changes considerably once especially the Germans are running around with Panzerfausts. Unsupported tanks tend to get dead really quickly. So what I'm going to do to shore up the line on the west side is I'm going to send this battle group composed of anti-tank guns and scout tanks, or light tank Mark 6s, in a reserve order to support the 3rd Infantry Brigade. That is going to give them the combined arms modifier, because they'll have both the infantry, artillery, and armored support, which will give some pretty nice combat bonuses to our forces defending the forest.
I am bringing up one of my mechanized battle groups to help out in the front, trying to delay using the B1s right away.
Okay, you're going to try to replug the gap that the Panzers made?
Yeah, because I want to be in that woods for that extra 10% bonus.
Yeah, so
use all the help I can get.
For those who haven't had a chance to read manual, or maybe haven't seen some of the devlogs, if you click on any piece of terrain, in the bottom left corner you can hover over this terrain symbol and it will give you all of the combat modifiers. You can also do that for terrain sides, like say a river. You just click and drag between the hexes and there you go, shows you the terrain side effects as well.
Over here on the French side, my primary objective this turn is to be blowing bridges over it on.
Do you want me to transfer an armored unit to the east?
No, that hopefully shouldn't be needed.
Okay.
If I get this bridge blown right here, I think we stand a good chance of stunting their offense over there. They're also not extraordinarily powerful over here.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if it comes to it, I have Hotchkiss H-39s with motorized units that should be able to help out the infantry if it survives.
Okay, so just going to try to hold at Amiens. How are we doing in the
Looking
air?
the gap up the center. I'm also going to send the cavalry recon around the flank.
Okay.
I have a suspicion there's nothing there, and I'm going to see what I can do.
Yeah, that's fair enough, in case we get, or in case they're trying to flank wide, catch anything that's going around.
Yeah, I imagine if I blow the bridges, both bridges at Amiens, they might try to move something over that way, so I'm probably going to put them near Montpellier.
Okay.
See if they move that direction.
Yeah, so for those who haven't played map like the Somme map, which of course is coming in the update, these are minor rivers, so even if we blow the bridges, we won't stop them from moving across them completely, but we will significantly slow them down. If this was a major river, obviously that would be a hard stop. They wouldn't be able to move at all, but even so, slowing them down is good. I think that's really all we can do this turn, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I'm going to run a recon mission right here, see what else is lurking between Poi and Amiens.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense in case there's more of TKP in the rear.
I hope not.
because our line of sight is... I'll quickly activate line of sight overlay. Our line of sight is actually pretty terrible. Zone of control is a lot better. We have solid zone of control lock across the entire contested front, but our sight is abominable, and that's actually pretty normal in the early war. Okay, I'm going to kick it over.
Alright.
My suspicion is they'll push the junction between our lines again this turn. They'll probably break through, but we'll see how much time we can buy.
Yeah. Yeah. See what happens.
If needed, we could actually deploy the Sharbies early and then pull them back and reinforce them with additional vehicles later.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really just a matter of how hard they push. If both Panzer divisions push hard there, we're gonna have a hard time stopping them.
Oh, okay. Now they're spreading out all throughout the front.
Major contact on the west. We still have Amiens though, for now.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, it looks like they tried to attack across the river, skipping Amiens.
That they did. Okay, so this turn is a reinforcement phase, so we're going to get a chance to buy new units to bring up. Now, obviously, this is a co-op scenario, so we're actually splitting the points we're getting between players, so we're individually getting a fairly small amount, but it's still enough to bring in something.
I'm going to pass this turn and save up for bigger stuff next time.
Yeah, that's a fair idea. Yeah, that's absolutely a feature you can use here. You don't have to spend the points you get. You can build them up for later. So if there's a unit you can't afford right now, just wait a few income phases and you can get it later. Personally, I am going to bring up an infantry brigade from the 2nd Infantry Division because I think we're going to need reserves.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay, how are we doing up here?
Wow, we had a fantastic attack in the middle. That's really good.
Oh yeah, we actually did quite a bit of damage there. Yeah, because they attacked with... It was just Totenkopf infantry, unsupported by the armor, and artillery tore them to shreds.
Yep.
A little less successful out here in the west. By no means terrible, but they are degrading our forces in the west. Did a lot
If
better
we can
for
keep
West.
trading... Oh man, that's a really good one. We're actually trading very, very well. Much better than I thought we would.
Yeah, we've got good terrain. I mean, they're attacking up these slopes and they're attacking into the forest, so for the moment we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But we'll see if we can actually keep that up. Some of our units are looking pretty degraded. Get all my fire missions spread out. Can we get a recon in the west center, sort of east of Neuchâtel?
I have no mission available, looks like.
Okay, they probably
Their
shot
air
it down.
power... Oh, okay, another air power.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
That's a few points.
The cohesion's still pretty high, so probably next turn it'll be available.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting chased out of the sky there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we'll have that for much longer, if at all. I did get a good fight in Amiens.
Yeah, I saw that. It's actually a pretty good exchange. Fighting in a city, no surprise.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue holding the armor in reserve for now. Just let the Germans keep degrading themselves.
Same, although I'm concerned that they might push these infantry regiments over here, yeah, towards the HQ.
Yeah, that's a legitimate concern, because they could actually manage to sneak through and hit the arty there.
Yeah.
I'm going to shuffle the arty out, because of its short range, and then move one of the 25-pounders in. Yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to do this turn. Obviously, I'm going to keep holding... Actually, there's one more thing I'll do. I'll shift one of the mechanized armored battle groups into Central Reserve east of this marsh. That way, if we get a breakthrough across this bridge, we can easily contain it.
Yeah.
I think that'll be it for Britain this turn. I suspect they'll make another attempt to force the slope this turn.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We'll probably stop them, but I have to say probably because I'm not entirely confident. I don't think they're going to make any headway on the west, though. On the far west.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's looking pretty good there. But the space between the slope and Amiens is looking less so.
Yeah, they've inflicted pretty serious casualties on the infantry there.
Unsurprisingly.
Next turn we should check to see how much actual damage we've done to their tanks and how much we just killed the supporting infantry.
Oh, still got a long way to go. We got plenty of power left.
Oh, definitely.
They're bombing the entire front line.
They did make a breakthrough in the west. Oh, and Amiens is surrounded.
Yeah. They're across the river.
Okay, yeah, so we have a problem in the east. They're shifting force onto the right shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
We're
across.
still trading very evenly in Amiens.
Sturmpanzers and infantry, yeah, very even. But it's also almost entirely infantry. They're not deploying wisely, I might add. They're not deploying their armor to that battle in large numbers.
Yeah.
And they did catch your recon unit going around.
Yep, they did. So.
Rest in peace, brave sons of France.
Yeah, but. Geez, it would have been a clear indicator otherwise, but they're already in our face.
Yeah, we have other evidence that we're being flanked.
They'd be my cavalry with motorcycles. Speaking of that, they have a lot of motorcycles.
Yeah, they're fairly cheap units. Had another success in the middle, although we are getting bombed pretty constantly. Shock, I know. 1940 and the Germans have Stukas. Allied anti-aircraft is not great in 1940.
Yeah.
Okay,
we had a pretty good fight in the middle.
Yeah, we had an exchange that was not in our favor in this force. In fact, they forced the 3rd Infantry Brigade back. Fortunately, the Armored Recon has held position.
They have a lot of strength there. That combined arms between the infantry and the tanks. Gonna push that really high.
I'm gonna move the 5th battle group of the 5th RTR into the forest. So these battle groups, for those viewing at home, these are combined arms. So they have armor. Granted, it's not the best tanks in the world, but it is armor. So they've got armor, they've got motorized infantry, they've got anti-tank guns, and they have artillery, in this case 18-pounders. So these will have an automatic plus 30% combined arms modifier because they've got infantry, armor, artillery. So these are much stronger units than they appear. I'm going to shift another reserve battle group to hold the far west shoulder, because if they get a Panzer regiment, if they get the 15th Panzer past us in the west, we're kind of done.
Yeah, that'll be a big problem.
So move some reinforcement there. Take in barrage fire in the middle as well. Not a whole lot we can do about that, because we don't really have counter-battery artillery currently.
Yeah, it looks like they've shifted most of their force off to the flanks. I'm gonna move the B1s over here, because I'm gonna try and counterattack this infantry that's right in front of me, because they left, one regiment.
Okay, in that case, I will bring up the 5th Infantry Brigade, who I just brought up. I'm going to park them at Dolenz in case the Germans try to go around our east flank.
Yeah, I'm concerned I'm not gonna catch these motorcycles.
Yeah, so I'll have the infantry come up to Dolenz, and I'll have this battle group of the 2nd Dragoons, 1st Armored Division, come up in the gap between the two so we can keep a solid zone of control lock.
Yeah.
In terms of, for viewers at home, in terms of how zone of control works in CAOS, you can move into zone of control with no problem. You just can't move between two zone of control hexes. We go into this in the Steam gameplay guide, but say, that was a good example. Take this German 2nd Schutzen Regiment and 3rd Panzer. They can't move northeast. They could if they use artillery to pin us, but in terms of like basic gameplay, they can't move northeast because it's zone of control. They could, however, move out, back, around, and like re-engage, but you can't move between two hexes that are zone of control locked. Okay, I think that's realistically all I should do this turn. I'm going to continue to hold one of the battle groups in reserve, just in case we get a breakthrough. And I'm going to kick the British turn over.
Hoping my artillery can pin something over here. Let one of the battle groups deal with it.
I'm worried they might kill the artillery on impulse 1.
Yeah, I'm worried they're gonna break through here, because they have enough force to grind through that garrison.
Yeah,
There's a Schützen regiment that's on 460 power.
if they take Amiens this turn, I'll redeploy the last reserve unit to around this location, just to backstop the retreat.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have a little bit of trouble crossing, since both bridges are out.
Yeah. Yeah, in the middle they seem to be adopting an attrition strategy. They're not really attacking us in the middle at this point, they're just bombarding us and bombing us, which, fair enough, we don't have any aircraft, so that's entirely effective.
We also no longer have aircraft.
Yeah, they probably dealt with all those real quick. The big worry at this point is if they blow Amiens out and they break through this turn, we may have a hard time containing it. But it looks like we're holding.
Okay. Looks like they're done attacking Amiens. But that was wise to bring stuff over to this flank. Look at this, they're stacking up a bunch of stuff over here.
Yeah, because they're trying to break Amiens' flank, which it's not really going anywhere for either side, actually.
Yeah.
Let's pull the arty out of the line before they get before they decide to kill it for us. Okay, we did push back the 15th Panzer in the west, and they disengaged from that bridgehead they were trying to force.
They brought the Schützen regiment across the river over here.
Okay, yeah, so they're going to try to force the battle group of the 26th PCC.
Yeah.
Yeah, our line of sight is obviously terrible, so my guess is, because we really can't see what's going on in the west, we're kind of blind, my guess is they're just holding a line south of us. So what are we looking at here? So we've got pretty major combat. In the middle here, an exchange really did not go well for either side. We didn't really knock out much in the way of German armor, though. This is almost entirely their infantry. Very few tanks got knocked out.
Yeah, I only took out a handful over here.
Yeah, and especially with these early war German units, I mean, really German units at any point in the war, their armor is very much the focus of their offensives. Had an exchange, it did not really go in our favor in the middle. They are wearing this 1st Infantry Brigade down. It probably only has another, let's see, I'd say 2 to 3 days of combat in it, which serves our needs.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, how about the east, though? So we've got 1st Schützen Regiment across the river. They're stronger than anything we actually have over there.
That's true.
And they are bombing the objective. We're going to keep... I'm going to move the battle group...
They've been bombing it the entire time.
Yeah, I'm going to move the battle group reserve away from the objective just so they're less likely to bomb it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my aircraft on rest because they really aren't doing anything at this point anyway, because the Germans have air supremacy.
Yeah. I just rested my recon up to full, but I'm fairly certain everything they have is in our face right now.
Yeah, at this point, and even if we put the recon aircraft out there, I doubt it'll actually manage its missions because it's just going to get shot down.
True.
Next turn is a requisition phase, though, so at this point I'm tempted to just hold our current positions and bring in more forces next turn.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be going down to Amiens.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to kick the British over because there's really not a whole lot else I can do at this point. My suspicion is they'll probably try to push north of Amiens this turn.
Yeah.
I think we'll hold them for one more turn there.
That's the goal.
So used to playing late war where you actually have like excellent recon and you can usually see what's going on, that early war is just like a different dimension because you can't see anything.
Yeah, very true. Not until they're already shooting at you.
Okay, so what are we going to get? They are pushing the middle. They are pushing, yep, north
Air
of Amiens.
through.
Yeah, they're going to break the middle of the line next turn. Okay, so we'll deal with a requisition in a moment here. Let's take a look at the actual situation at the front. So, we inflicted some serious casualties in the battle in the middle, but we are getting ground out of existence. Specifically, our cohesion is. Yeah, they made an unsupported attack with their armor, which you handily repulsed. I mean, we took losses, obviously, but I'll exchange French infantry for German tanks. They did catch our arty at Amiens before it got out.
Unfortunately.
And they dealt us a pretty notable blow on the battle group, the 26 BCC.
Yeah, that's not going to be around for much longer.
Okay, so what do you bring in for reinforcements?
Yeah, I'm still trying to determine that because we only have 7.5 points.
What about a mechanized? What about a mechanized battle group? What are the French mech regiments?
Here we go. Yeah, I'm probably just going to do that. I found a cheap one. Find some armor that won't break down on the way.
Very French problem to have this early in the war. Okay, so I don't think there's much point in investing in our Air Force because we're really not going to, at this point, we're not going to wrest their superiority away from the Germans.
Agreed.
So I'm going to bring up some anti-aircraft because we're going to need it. I'm also going to bring up some medium artillery regiments.
Sounds good.
I'm going to pull the 1st Infantry Brigade back and cede the top of that slope to them because we're not going to hold it for much longer.
Yeah, that's going to have to get some help.
And I'm going to move my last reserve battle group into position on the line just to make sure we don't get a catastrophic breakthrough in the middle.
Sounds good.
Because our forces there are in really bad shape. Also, a gameplay tip there for our viewers. You can actually, when you do a fire mission like fire support, you can actually technically target something which is outside of your range. Range, of course, is in these blue hexes. As long as the target happens to be within range when you say the combat occurs, they will fire. If they're still outside of range, obviously nothing will happen.
I'm bringing a small mechanized and armored battle group with some supporting artillery.
Okay, so yeah, bring up some S-35s and some mech. That should be good. Got some.
What did they manage to get there? Oh, motorcycles.
Yeah, motorcycle recon going around.
Oh. I found a supply depot that's open.
Yeah, I'm going to take a stab at their motorcycle stack.
Yeah, I should be able to hold out one more turn.
I'm not sure
Maybe
about that.
there.
You know, I'm actually tempted. Can you actually evac from Amiens northwest, 1 hex?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the concern I have is I think the Schutzen regiment, especially if it's supported by anything coming from the south, they're going to break the 26 BCC this turn.
Yeah, and I don't need these engineers anymore, so let's see what happens. I'm going to try to take that supply down.
Suicide rush. Good luck.
Hopefully it's not.
Okay, so we're bringing up that reserve. I'm actually not going to take a swipe with the bicycles, or the motorcycles, because I don't want to be out of position. So I'm going to fall back 1 hex, which will give us good line continuity when you arrive.
Alright, I'm going to place a recon mission there so we can see everything that they move, because I'm sure there's going to be more than that arrives.
Yeah, almost certainly. There's actually a lot of force massing east of Amiens. Mostly it's like AT guns and the like, but that probably indicates that there's more force outside of our admittedly pathetic line of sight.
Yeah.
We do get a slight line of sight bonus, which we need to update that on the line of sight graphic. We do get a slight line of sight bonus because we're currently in a city, but it's not worth losing those units just for a couple hexes of extra sight. Gonna hold all my positions in the west currently. And I'm gonna kick the British turn over.
Stun them.
Gonna try to make a local counterattack against that depot.
Yeah, I think I am. I was trying to figure out how to get the B1s involved in that, but
Reserve order.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, so for our viewers, I can't currently do it because my turn's already submitted, so I can't issue orders. I'll demonstrate it next turn. But if you give a unit a reserve order, it will give half of its combat power to all adjacent friendly units, both in offensive and defensive combats. Very powerful order, obviously, but two downsides. A, you can take casualties in all those combats, obviously, so it's a good way to kill a unit very quickly, a friendly unit, that is. But also, if the reserving unit is attacked directly, it defends at half strength, so that can be pretty catastrophic if your opponent knows what you're doing and they get to you.
Hoping I can get rid of those tanks.
Yeah, at this point, I'm actually pretty confident where we're at. We're taking a lot of losses, to be sure, but we're buying time.
Yeah, this is true. I think we're almost halfway through.
They're not moving us out of the line very quickly. We're losing ground, but not very fast.
And if we manage to get rid of that Schützen regiment off in the east, I think we're in a really good position then.
Yeah, my major concern is just if there's more we can't see.
That's true. Because that one did kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and on a lot of maps, obviously, the supply chain is what limits their mobility. That really isn't a problem here because it's all flat and the roads are excellent. Oh, you did grab the depots.
They are in Amiens.
Okay, we have, oh yeah, major contact at Dolenz.
Oh, they're everywhere over there.
Okay, so we have very good thing we brought up the second armed battle group because they trapped and annihilated. In fact, the unit straight up surrendered. Who was that? Yeah, 1st Infantry Brigade has been annihilated in the center of the line. And they got overrun by, let's see what. Yeah, Panzer Regiment and Schützen Regiment, given the unit was already low on cohesion. Okay, minor skirmish at Dolenz, but nothing serious, but they definitely have the force to actually make it serious this turn.
Yeah. Jeez, look at all this. Well, my battle group managed to make it into the city.
Which is good, because otherwise I don't think we'd hold it.
So I'll hold them there and start issuing some fire support missions.
Also, they caught the engineers on the way out of, some irony in that.
Turns out there was something waiting.
So, yeah, what they did is they pinned them with artillery, and they pinned the engineers. They did not successfully pin the infantry, and the engineers got delayed by one impulse, and then they got caught and killed.
Yep.
Elsewhere on the line, let's see, yeah, major contact in the center, but that's not catastrophic yet. Yeah, our units are badly beaten up in the middle, with the exception of fresh one, but so are theirs. So I think we'll hold the center. The big worry is the stuff in the east. I'm going to live a bit dangerously. I'm going to attempt a counterattack in the west against the 15th Panzer.
Sounds good. There's a lot of single regiment stuff that's out here on this flank. I'm going to see if I can catch some of them, get rid of them.
Yeah, before they can get to concentration.
Yeah. And I know they're here in Amiens, so I'm going to see if the infantry can see them and maybe block them for a little while.
Yeah, looking at the units involved list at Amiens, there's, let's see, 4 anti-tank battalions. Yeah, that's not really doing anything, but they do have 4 anti-tank battalions. There's also a Schützen regiment, 2 motorized infantry regiments. Yeah, there's a fair amount of force in Amiens we can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, snagged one of the depots, but they'll probably snag it back fairly quickly. Let's see.
See if it gets back.
Gonna commit my fighters back to the air just to be a minor distraction, I guess, because they're not good for much else at this point. We don't really have enough points to invest in a good air force. I'm gonna make an impulse 1 attack on 3rd Totenkopf simply because it's alone, it's not supported by armor, and I might be able to dislodge it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I think that's all I can do for the British this turn, so I'm gonna kick my turn over. With any luck, you might catch the Sturmpanzer Bisons. That would be a nice catch.
Yeah, I agree. Then I'm gonna come up behind whatever the hell's going on over here.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that because I'm concerned that there may be more we can't see.
Yeah.
And if they decide to actually extend all the way around and try to go up like through a Ross and try to cut our connection to our spawn point, we have a real problem.
Yeah, that would be very bad. Alright. Fire missions are in.
Next turn, let's verify. Let's check where our depot is to make sure they aren't actually maneuvering to grab our supply dump.
Ah, that's a great idea. I hope I get that mobile depot back through our lines.
Yeah, if not,
If
then
that's the case.
If not, the next reinforcement turn
We're gonna
will
have to
bring
bring
in.
some.
Yeah. Because if we run out of supply, we're just gonna die.
That's very true.
The major concern at this point is if they push hard through the somewhat shattered units we have behind Amiens. If they have units there which can push, and I don't know if they do or not, but if they do, they could possibly break through. Because we're kind of lacking effective armor there. Okay, they're around our flank north.
Oh my god.
Okay, we have a... Yeah. Major...
We're gonna have to fall
run.
back to the objective.
Yeah, we need to pull the line in. Okay, so I'll use the replay to show everyone what happened there in case you missed it. So watch dual lens here. What's going to happen is they're going to go Impulse 3, Impulse 4, Impulse 5, contact with, in this case, it's a division of HQ and a self-propelled artillery battery, but then behind that is a Schutzen regiment and motorcycle recon who are behind us. So there's probably 500 to 600 combat points of Germans, most likely on this position, so they are within striking distance of the objective. At this point, our flank is turned. The French units at Amiens have been partially encircled. You'll have to see if you can get out like this. So you've got second shoots in between you and the DBC.
Yeah, this is not good.
I will try to hold the battle group, the 2nd Dragoons, in position for... I guess I have to hold them where they're at, because if I fall back, then they will cut off the retreating French. My recommendation at this point is to head the battle group G1 of the 3rd RC directly west and let the British infantry hold dual ends until they're overrun. Because we need to see if we can do damage to the units which are headed to the objective.
Yeah.
Okay, so the battle in the west against the 15th Panzer actually didn't go as badly as I thought it might. We knocked out a fair number of tanks, and we did force the Panzer Regiment to retreat.
I'm gonna bring the B1s and try to throw them into the objective, and I'm bringing my heavy artillery back too.
Okay. Let's see, what can I realistically fall back with? So yeah, bring the B1s to the objective. Here's what I think is going to have to happen. You're going to have to resecure the objective, and then I'll use the British unit to try to solidify the southern front.
Yeah, most likely.
Because I really can't safely take many British units off the line, or we risk a line integrity failure.
I am leaving the units already directly on the front line right here.
The only change I would make is I'd take the battle group, the 3rd DBC, and 45th Infantry Regiment, and I'd take them northeast across the river.
Yeah.
To buy time, I will put the engineers of the 1st Armored Division in Abbeville, just hopefully to buy us some time. And I will get fire support in there.
That was my last recon mission, so viewpoint over here is going to be lost.
Got it. I'm also going to take the Armored Recon AT battle group I have and retreat it to Abbeville so we have some AT guns in the city.
Sounds good.
I suspect we'll probably lose all of the forces around Dolens in 2 turns, but we just need them at this point to... Because our next reinforcement phase is next turn, so we can replace some of our casualties then.
True. I wonder what they're going to bring up.
I mean, they're German 1940, so whatever they bring up is probably better than what we have.
That's true.
This is going slightly better than historical. Yeah, if we did this matchup in like 1942 or 43, obviously we'd probably both be playing British then in that case, because we don't currently have French 43, but it would be a lot easier to defend with mid or late war British here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Our big problem is simply the early war tanks just really aren't that great. But give us some infantry battle groups with Churchills and 6-pounders, and I guarantee you we could hold Abbeville. Now let's see how much our gambles with the units we're sacrificing actually pay off.
Yeah, let's hope they don't blow through it in one impulse.
My big concern is if they actually grab Abbeville before reinforcements arrive, which they may. Let's see what happens.
Nope, we got in there.
Okay, so the situation is confused.
This is not good. Look at this, it's all mixed up right now.
Okay, so we'll deal with a requisition here in a moment. What is even happening?
Nothing good, that's for sure.
German recon unit is murdering our anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah.
What are our anti? Okay, yeah, they're Bofors. In the east, we have okay, so our units in the east are at this point encircled. We can't really get them out. Okay, so we did not get out of Dolenz, but we made one hell of a battle in it. Unfortunately, mostly we killed German AT guns, which does not really help us at this point. Okay, so Dolenz will fall this turn. How's this German? Okay, second Schutzen, we don't have the power to push through it.
No.
Okay, so the units in the east, they're just gonna die. Their only purpose at this point is to buy time. How's the situation in Abbeville?
We got a lot in there right now. Well, a lot by our standards.
Okay, let's see what I can bring in for 5 points. Oh god, I might actually resort to buying cavalry. What has this world come to?
I know.
I'd really like to avoid that. Let's see what else. What armor can I actually afford? I can't. Well, I could bring, like, Humber armored cars, but no one cares. Okay, I'm going to bring in another infantry brigade then from the 2nd Division. And I'm going to try to have them... okay, so here's what I'm going to do with the 6th Brigade I just brought in. They'll probably get intercepted on the road down, but if they don't, I'm going to try to bring them down to the where the Somme River meets the ocean. And I'm going to try to hold this flank so they can't go up and around and try to get into our HQs.
That is a good idea. I'm trying to find something else I can afford to get an armored car combat bonus.
What about like one of the BCCs, one of the French independent tank battalions?
Let me see. Wait, aren't these? No.
Okay, I'm going to draw on the line in the south. I'm going to bring one of the armored battle groups into the rear and reserve. I'm going to park them in the bocage directly southeast of Abbeville.
I'm .02 away from affording another Dragoons regiment.
Can you train it down?
Yeah. Oh god, it's so weak. Alright, I got another hastily assembled battle group heading down.
Okay. Good news is their south center is actually very weak. If I had more mobile force in reserve, I'd actually counterattack there, but we do know the 15th Panzer Regiment is out here somewhere.
Yep.
Try and figure out how we actually deal with these, because at this point, everything from this hex eastwards is cut off, and we don't really have... Well... Okay, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to try to use a march attack to push back the 2nd Totenkopf and 13th Schutzen, which will hopefully cause them to retreat, and try to bring the 45th and the battle group 3rd DBC, try to bring them back into the interior. You'll have to head them west, because otherwise they'll be zone of control locked by the 5th Recon.
I'm gonna have my last bit of infantry join you in that attack.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully something will happen.
We can put, yeah, because we have a real problem. So we're gonna use a march here because we only want to hit that hex. If we use an attack order, we would bring in the 103rd Flak Regiment, and I don't want to talk to 88s, so we're not doing that.
Yeah, those 88s are stronger than anything else we have.
Yeah, 51 AT value, which is probably the most powerful anti-tank unit. Well, actually, it's definitely the most powerful anti-tank unit on this battlefield.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're in a desperate situation here anyway, take the 21st French Infantry Division HQ, park it here, and I'm going to move the 3rd Medium Regiment Artillery up as literal battlefield cannons in an attempt to give them some stiff resistance. I'm going to transfer the 52nd Light Anti-Aircraft over. Bofors will actually do a pretty good job at this point in the war. I'm going to rest the 4th Infantry Grid. Yeah, I'm going to try to rest when I can. I'm going to try to push up a bit on the far west, rest with infantry brigades by pushing the line up so we have a shorter line to cover. And then hopefully I can bring it back into combat at Abbeville next turn.
I deployed the depot in Abbeville in case anything happens.
I'm going to take the Field Company Royal Engineers from the 1st Infantry Division and send them up north of Abbeville as a buffer force.
Sounds good.
Good news is they can't drive tanks through this marsh, so at least we have that going for us because pretty much all of their force is motorized.
That's true. There's an open depot right here.
It may not be as open as it appears because we know the 15th Panzer's in here somewhere.
That's true.
I'm actually going to try to take a gamble and try to break out with the battle group of 2nd Dragoons through his AT guns and run into the wilderness and then try to get on the road and run back to the objective.
I'm going to be gambling and try to knock out this Schützen regiment. Or, deal significant enough damage that it won't be a problem if it gets to Abbeville.
Try to at least reduce their combat efficiency.
Yeah, we're going to try to land a few bullets and see what happens.
So, yeah, I was thinking about ways possibly to save units at dual ends, but at this point I don't think they're worth saving. There's not enough.
Yeah, I couldn't even evac my unit in there.
Yeah, I mean, we took a lot of combat value out of the enemy, though.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man. I'm just gonna try to counterattack out.
Yeah,
of the weakest point.
We're gonna lose anyway, so we're gonna lose that position anyway, so might as well try.
Yeah, see what happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna kick the turn over.
A lot has to happen this turn.
What we need is a lot of luck. Also, we forgot to check to verify where our depot is to make sure it hasn't already been taken.
It was just north of us. I'm not sure. When your unit comes south, you'll be taking a peek at it.
Okay, did you successfully extract the depot we captured?
Yeah, I have it.
Good.
It's in Abbeville right now.
Okay, we should be fine then.
Actually, we can... Well, there's a number of ways we can check, because I deployed the depot, and if it went down, I guess then our supply dump was taken.
I'll just check the supply. I'll need to show off how the supply system works anyway, so I'll just pop open the supply overlay when the turn runs through.
Sounds good.
Yeah, at this point I think we'll hold Abbeville for at least 2 more turns, but I'm really worried if they break the flanks around Abbeville, I don't think we can hold it against consistent assault.
Yeah, so none of my attacks went well.
That's an accurate statement.
There's a lot more SS.
They probably brought up Liebstandart. No, still just Totenkopf. Well, I say just Totenkopf, but also 4th Panzer Regiment has arrived, and 5th Infantry Regiment, and a bunch more AT guns. Okay, so check our supply. So, opening supply overlay, these little red sort of half circles, these are supply depots or dumps. This one I have selected is our main supply dump itself. Any hex which is shaded orange, we have supply, at least theoretically have supply going to. The hexes which are blank, of course, we do not. So they are within striking range of taking this main supply dump. If that falls, then we have 5 turns of supply in our mobile depot. After that, we're out. Good news is this is turn 10 of 15, so even if we lose the supply dump this turn, we'll be fine. If we lost it 2 turns ago, we would be almost assuredly losing this game.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are bombing Abbeville, but no one cares because it's a city, so it's got a very high barrage resistance.
Only one of our attacks did anything significant.
Good news is they gave up on Dolenz and just bypassed it.
Yeah, so trying to figure out.
They judged our units so worthlessly weak at this point that they just didn't bother killing them. Anyway, we failed to break out in the east, but we also... actually, we overran 2 Panzerjäger units. 41 unsupported Pack 36s, yeah, no surprise they died. Followed by 32
This is
more.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna try to break out.
Try to get out of there.
Yeah, let's bring our force around and try to hit the north end. Oh, great. First shoots and regiments there. Anyway, we'll try to mildly inconvenience the Germans on the north end of the line. I will push the 6th Infantry Brigade up into the forest. At this point, I'm not really worried about the depot. I just want to stop them from fully encircling Abbeville.
Yeah, I'm gonna send my battle group into the depot, see if I can secure it for a little while longer.
You'll need to head west, northwest, and then east, because otherwise it'll be zone of control locked.
I will probably meet them there. And our depot in Abbeville has 5 turns of supply, so we should be able to see out the game with supply.
Yeah, we'll be good there. So we have secured the Bocage southeast of Abbeville. They should have a pretty hard time getting us out of there, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
They unsurprisingly annihilated our AA guns. Okay, this part in the line I've highlighted now, that's a major security concern, because it's held by an HQ and artillery. Can we fall the 72nd Infantry Regiment back into that position?
Absolutely. Beats sitting next to SS.
Yeah, we failed to dislodge the SS, and really no shock there, but they didn't really kill that many of us either. We took some losses, but yeah. Okay, yeah, we took some losses. They're almost all tanks. It's very unfortunate, but we'll take what we can get.
And I'm gonna leave these guys to the west of Amiens in place, just so they don't start flooding stuff into this area.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
That's fair, because we can't really afford a major enemy offensive in this region right now.
Can we afford one in any region?
By keeping a stiff upper lip and thinking hopeful thoughts, we will resist the German invasion.
Huh. With my HQ in Abbeville, I can improve the position in 65 turns.
With your 6 squads of engineers, yeah, that's...
I have an idea. I'll start blowing the bridges.
That doesn't take many engineers, so yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
I can still do it in 1 turn.
Yeah, it doesn't take...
And that'll seriously stunt their offensive power.
Yeah, blow the bridge to the east first.
Yep, that's the first one I'm doing.
Okay, well, I will throw my turn over as well, and we'll see what happens. Think those positive thoughts. We'll just wish the panzers away.
I mean, that worked in one city already.
That's true. Until the brave defenders of... it was Amiens in the south, right?
Yeah.
Until they unfortunately got caught by Stukas and artillery and got delayed and got dead.
Yeah, but by everything other than armor.
So we have 5 turns left. I'd say we have about even odds winning and losing at this point.
Yeah, I think if we get those bridges out of the way... Oh, dang. Yeah, they're starting to put pressure on the flank. Look at this, they have...
Okay, so let's see.
That was a great fight in the Bocage.
Don't attack Bocage! Moral of the story, it's never a good place to fight. I mean, they are making progress, don't get me wrong. They actually did do serious damage to us, but it is never pleasant to fight in the Bocage.
Nope. I'm gonna re-secure the depot because it's open.
Although they were wise about it, they didn't use... They brought some armor support, but they didn't really use tanks there.
Yeah. Alright, that bridge is blown to the east.
Our brave lads continue to run over anti... Oh, no, they're trapped by actual panzers. That's going to be the end of their little crusade. Oh, they got no supply left either. Well, my hat is off to the brave lads of the battle group of the 2nd Dragoons. They fought a good game. 15th Panzer's back in the west, but we have the power to repulse them. I'm going to bring the 4th Infantry Brigade. Actually, no, 5th Panzer can do it. 15th Panzer can do whatever it wants. I'm going to take the armor on the west into the interior to reinforce Abbeville.
Sounds good.
I'd love to counterattack in the south center because there's places here where we absolutely could do it, but we really can't get far enough to make it matter because we're not going to get through the 88s.
I think I'm going to blow the northern bridge because I don't think we're ever going to be coming south from that again. There's just too many Germans.
Yeah, blow it up.
And just to secure it.
Okay, so let's see how we're doing up there. So, okay, we've beat them up on the motorcycle recon on the supply depot. Will kill that this turn.
Yeah. Everything else is looking pretty weak except for the 1st Schutzen Regiment.
Yeah,
that's
they're
still quite strong.
They're overextended. I mean, they're still in supply, but their units on the north flank have they fought too much. Then they don't have enough armor support left.
Yeah, and let's see, they have 2 supply depots up there. I'm gonna try to seize one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a counterattack against the 15th Infantry Regiment.
Yeah, if we can just chip away at this, I think we'll be just fine. And B1s should be perfectly fine on the city streets.
How are the B1s doing? Because they really haven't had to... Okay, I guess they have actually had to fight more than I appreciated.
Yeah, they, the reserve order down here between... Yeah, this area.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's really all I can do this turn. I could go check on my poor aircraft who are being murdered by the Germans.
Oh my god, I have a recon mission.
Blessing from the gods. The odds of that getting through when there's a lot of VF-109s is rather impressive.
We'll see what happens.
I think that's really all I can do this turn. Yeah, kicking over. I think we'll probably knock out a fair number of enemy units in the north because they simply don't have armor support up there, so we should be able to overrun them.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're low on cohesion, they're fighting our units we just brought up from our spawn point in the last couple turns. Those are fresh units, we have combined arms, we have artillery, we should be fine. Well, we didn't overrun anything, well, except for the recon, but we didn't
other than the supply depot.
I'll take that. Oh, yes, I see you've, oh, 3rd Panzer Regiment's coming up. That's a real problem.
Yeah.
They've judged the battle group of 2nd Dragoons apparently not worth killing. They did make a stab at Abbeville. Oh, okay, it was just a probing attack. Nothing serious. Nothing actually happened even.
They're crushing the cohesion in Abbeville.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of, just over time, we're taking a lot of losses from bombing.
All that bombing, yeah. I'm going to bring down some 155s.
Yeah, so in terms of reinforcements, I'm going to bring what? This may actually be the first time in CAOS development I have ever... Oh, wait, I didn't check that. I'm actually going to bring up the Matildas. The Matilda 1s.
Hey.
I don't think I've ever bought this unit because Matilda 1s. Why would you do it? But they do count as tanks, so they'll come up in reserve order. Okay, so north, we didn't really achieve a whole lot. In fact, nothing really happened. I mean, there were battles, there was some strength loss, but nothing serious happened on either side. Let's make an impulse, I want to say 3 attack on this northernmost stack.
Sounds good.
The big worry is 1st Schutzen Regiment is in the middle, and it is very strong. They'll probably be focused on breaking out of the encirclement, though, because we do technically have them encircled.
Jeez.
Granted, they have a supply depot in there, so they're not really that worried about it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of combat power in this group here.
I'm just glad they're all motorized and nothing's on foot, because otherwise they just walk right through the marsh, and that would be the end of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so my armored battle group is free. It's heading in Abbeville. I will. Let's see. How should we do this? Pull the first DCR HQ out, and I'll pull the battle group, the 21st anti-tank out. That'll give us enough stacking points to get the armor in.
Yeah, I can really hold it.
I'm getting so tired. They're taunting me with his artillery because I could go down there and I could attack it and I could probably even kill a lot of it, but then I'd be trapped.
They're just sitting there firing at you.
If all of our other guns weren't busy, I'd just start counter-battering them. We'll probably have an attack against the battle group of the 2nd Armored Brigade. They'll probably hit it with the 88s and the recon.
Yeah, that's why I put the fire support on it.
Yeah, that's wise, because if they do hit it with enough force, they will overrun it, or at least push it back.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna pull some units out of the firing line of, what is this, 3rd Panzer Regiment?
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna die.
Yeah. I know, that's just sitting there.
It's so tempting, but it's a trap.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we're gonna die anyway in the east. They're just sitting there waiting for us to starve or something. I'm actually not entirely sure what their plan is. They could have killed us last turn, but we're just gonna attack them, see what happens.
I don't have power there. Yeah, we gotta figure something out.
Well, 3 turns. If we just survive 3 turns, we win.
That's true, but if they manage to...
If they take the objective, we're done, because we
Yeah,
can't
that's
really
true.
take
We
it.
didn't have anything. I'm hoping the blood bridges make sure that they aren't really going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, it should at least slow down any attack on the city. And it's a good thing that there's that bocage to the southeast, because otherwise they would get over the shoulder with 3s.
Yeah, they would have surrounded it.
We're also rather blessed that our reinforcement spawn point is directly north of the objective, because if it was, say, in the middle of the map, we'd be cut off by now.
Yeah, that's true. And we actually have a road secured going south.
Yeah, we kicked them off the road when we kicked the motorcycles off. Gave them a speeding ticket. Well, they decided the battle group of the 2nd Dragoons needed to stop existing, so that's gone. And there's the counterattack as foretold in the south.
Oof, look at that.
We may actually have a problem in the south here.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a lot of combats.
Look at that.
I mean, we traded fairly evenly, but I think we need our men a bit more than they do at this point. See, take a look at the 88s, see how many of those we actually killed. None, as far as I can tell. We did not kill a single 88. Go us. Anyway, how's the rest of that look? Totenkopf division at this point is shot to hell. There's really nothing left of it.
Yeah.
All low cohesion, like 4% cohesion on the heavy weapons company.
Jeez.
Okay, so how's the situation at Abbeville? Major victory for us in the bocage. They attacked, we butchered them.
Yeah, that's been, yeah. That unit in there, the star of our defense.
Oh yeah.
Battle group.
Battle group of the 5th Royal Tank Regiment. Hats off to them, they're doing a good job.
Everything around them right now is combat ineffective.
Unfortunately, our attack in the north, we inflicted casualties, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the overrun we needed it to be. And rest in peace, we lost to Matilda 1.
They also counterattacked at the depot, but that did not go well for them.
Yeah, so counter at the depot, but most importantly, counterattack northeast, and they overran the 5th Infantry Brigade.
Yeah.
Straight up destroyed it. Okay, I'm going to dig in with the 6th Infantry Brigade, because it is badly damaged. I'm going to shuffle the battle group, the 21st ATR, up to provide armored support. th Panzer is back in the south. I'm glad I didn't take the bait and attack the artillery, because I'd be dead if I did. Yeah, let's pull the 34th RAD off. Oh, there was a major attack southeast of the marsh. That was a big combat.
Whoa, yeah. They have more infantry there to try again.
Yeah, because I think they just attacked with Totenkopf. Okay, and 6 shoots them, so yeah, they could try again with just 6 shoots them, and they have a pretty good chance of breaking it. Yeah, I might as well try a local counterattack with the guys who are encircled, because they're not going to get out otherwise.
Yep.
Okay, I've got the Matildas in reserve in the north, so if they make a stab at the supply depot, we should be able to stop them pretty handily. Major concern at this point is the 6th Infantry Brigade north of Abbeville is not in a great place. It's at about half strength.
No, but everything immediately around it isn't going to be able to do much.
I'm more worried about 1st and 2nd shoots to the east.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do.
Of all things to put on top of each other, they do that. That's pretty much a worst case scenario.
2nd Panzer has arrived, by the way. It will be in combat probably at the Bocage next turn. Hopefully everything's supporting it's weak enough they can't carry it.
I'm going to switch my fire support onto the Bocage too.
Yeah.
I imagine that's the only way they're going to go with the bridges down, but they are making attacks.
I'm going to live dangerously and separate one of the infantry battalions from this brigade in the west and send it into the interior as reserve.
Watch, now they're going to shift everything over to there.
I'm very aware of that risk, but I'm willing to gamble it because I'm very skeptical of the ability of the battle group of 5th RTR to hold the Bocage if the 2nd Panzer Regiment attacks.
Yeah.
The 2nd Panzer, it's veteran, it's at high cohesion. We can't see its actual strength, but its combat is high, so I'm going to try to get some more infantry in there. And I think that's all the forces of Great Britain can do this turn, so I wish them luck.
Only a few more turns.
Yeah, if we hold the Bocage this turn, I think we have it. If we lose it this turn, I think we're done.
If they do get in, we're going to have to throw everything south at it.
Yeah.
Whatever there is.
Okay, what are they going to do? They are trying to force the force in the north, and they are redeploying on the southwest, by the way. And they're put... Yep. What you predicted. There we go. Okay, how bad is it? Could be better, but it could be worse. Okay, we repulsed them handily on the ridge line. They did kick us across the river, but 2nd Totenkopf is at 2% cohesion, so they're done. They did hit the Bocage. It was another exchange, slightly in our favor. Congratulations, artillery, you are now in the front line. See, their forces adjacent to Abbeville really are in no position to take it.
Yeah.
And 1st Schutzen has rather fortunately gone and beaten itself up in an attack on the forest in the north. Granted, they did a lot of cohesion damage, but they aren't going to break it.
Yeah, probably not. Where did the other Schutzen regiment go? Because there was 1st and 3rd.
It's 1st and 2nd were up there. 2nd is...
Who's the 6th?
2nd has either disengaged or is going around, which is an equally troublesome scenario.
Perfect.
I'm going to hold the engineers then in the forest. They will die, but at least they'll buy time. I think that's honestly all I can really do at this point.
We just need to hold that Bocage for 2 more clicks.
Yep. and losses are rather high, but we'll get to that at the end of the game.
Very high. Although, extraordinarily even.
Yeah, very even losses this game, which is actually reversal of the first few turns when I checked. It was like a 200 point golf in their favor.
I think we were able to destroy a couple of isolated units.
Yeah, and we inflicted actually pretty good losses on their breakthrough in the north. They got a lot of units in their breakthrough, don't get me wrong, but we were able to do pretty good damage on their units as they broke through.
Yeah.
My suspicion is this turn they'll probably take the position southeast of the marsh. I think it's late enough in the game it doesn't matter, but I suspect they will cap it.
Well, here's to hoping they don't. We could see this out.
I'm also concerned that they may roll up the southeast flank where I've got the battle group of the second Armored Brigade. If they make another attack with armor and infantry supported by the 88s, they'll probably push it back, but I'm also pretty confident we can buy enough time to win the game.
Yeah. And they're bombing everything.
Yeah, second shoots and disengage went north, which I think we just repulsed an attack from them.
Yeah, oh, there's the fight at the Bocage. And
this-
it's held.
I think we have this game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point in bringing in reinforcements because they're not going to be able to do much. Oh man, they're really they're inflicting a lot of damage, but they're really paying for trying to take the supply depot.
Gonna bring an armored brigade down, which oh boy, it's equipped entirely with cruiser Mark 1s and 2s, but hey, they're technically tanks.
I took another supply depot.
Nice.
Not that it matters right now, but
It's a moral victory.
yeah. Okay, now there's
Oh yeah, they butchered the 124th Infantry in the rear. It was in
that's
the rear.
fine. If they want to screw around over here at turn 14, that's totally fine.
It's quite true. So let's see, big attack on the supply dump. Major losses on both sides. Again, if it's not at Abbeville, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's very true, and especially right now.
Bocage was another even exchange. That may be the most fighting I've seen over a single hex in a while. I mean, granted, short of like an actual objective hex.
Yeah.
So I think there's been a combat on the Bocage every turn for the last 6 turns.
Yeah. Pretty much, and not even in red cohesion. That's incredible.
Yeah, for all of the problems of the early war British order of battle, the units do, when used properly, they hold together pretty well. It's really it's a matter of making sure you have the right mixture of anti-tank, because the big problem the British have early in the war is poor anti-tank. It's not that the anti-tank guns are bad, they're not. 2-pounders perfectly good at killing early Panzer IIIs. It's that the infantry units are chronically undergunned, and the tank units aren't great either. You just have to properly mix them, and they will do very well.
Very true. If you want to see something interesting, in Abbeville, they're about to bomb a supply depot in existence.
Let's... yeah, we should be fine. I was about to say
One
let's
more
move it
turn.
out, but yeah, just one more turn, so who really cares?
Alright.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much more for me to do. Let me check my RD, see if there's anything else to do.
Yeah, I set fire missions and evac units from the front line, and that's about it. Abbeville just has to hold.
Yeah, I guess I'll put some RD in Abbeville just in case. They do some Hail Mary with the 2nd Panzer.
Oh, they do have those tanks there, yeah.
It would be embarrassing to lose on the last turn of the game.
With tanks crossing a broken bridge.
Put on the floaties and float across the river, boys. Well, good luck. Yeah, short of a miracle, which could happen, but otherwise,
Yeah,
I think we have this.
It's possible.
I've seen more insane things happen in the final turn of a game. Then again, I once saw a guy lose IS-3s to motorcycle infantry, so I've seen some things.
I mean, I've won a game with 4 artillery cannons in the last city.
Yeah, I think you posted a screenshot on Discord of that, didn't you?
Yeah,
That
that
was-
is there.
Pretty amazing. Yeah, and when we get to release of the reinforcements update, which at this point will probably be the 30th, that's a tentative date, there'll be a formal announcement forthcoming. We'll probably do some live streams, maybe some co-op or some PvP live streams.
That's a good idea. Oh man, what did they do?
They were
They
trying.
sent everything away.
Yes, they're trying. Okay, they're trying to break the north to try to get around behind the objective because they realize they can't get through it.
That's it?
And that's game.
Wow. Okay, look at the losses. Look at that.
Those are ridiculously even. Wow. 1451 for 1452. Shout out to 37mm Pack 36s for being the #1 German loss.
Wow. And how about French construction workers for our number 2?
Construction engineers. Those are the guys who were in Reims.
Yeah.
Oh, that is glorious. Let's see.
Check out the single Matilda at the bottom.
One Matilda. They might be because these are Matilda 1, just to clarify for our British audience. These are Matilda 1s, not 2s. I would never trash talk a 2. Matilda 1s are a tank which perplexes me. But fortunately, they're durable at least. Sharpie 1 Bisses 22. You lost more Bisses than Hotchkiss H39s. Oh, okay. It's because you also had H35s.
So this is a straight up stunning win on defense, because we managed to inflict more losses, given what we had.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy.
Yeah, this worked out extremely well. Even though they were right on top of the objective, we were able to do just enough.
See how the Bocage did in the last turn. Of course, there was another battle for the Bocage, and of course, it was an exchange.
It's a good thing you sent something else there, because, yeah, the last legs there.
Well, and fortunately, the unit I sent there was able to just absorb losses being infantry.
Yeah, they also tried again for the depot and lost. Pretty handily.
They did finally push us off that ridgeline, not that it really mattered.
Look at all this artillery they had on the back. They must have just brought that on.
Yeah, it's probably stuff coming up.
Oh, there was a fresh infantry regiment on the way.
Ah, so Liebstandart finally showed up. I was wondering when they'd buy that.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if those reinforcements would have started showing up, we would have had some major issues.
Yeah, I think given what we had left, what we had left in the west, this 4th Infantry Brigade was not going to stop Liebstandart. That's not even a contest.
And we barely had enough to hold the objective. Check out the combat there.
Wow. Supply depot almost got bombed out of existence.
Yeah, it's very close. You know, they bombed that every turn.
Yeah, they tend to recon the objective pretty much every turn. They bomb it pretty much every turn, too. But yeah, well played. Also, good game for the AI. It actually did a really good job with this right hook. That was well done on its part.
Oh yeah, and it's pressing everything continuously, really putting us on our heels.
Yeah, their big downfall ultimately was simply they fought so much, they maneuvered so much, that when they finally arrived at Abbeville, most of the units at the front were at like half cohesion.
Yeah, and everything going on between Amiens and Abbeville was enough to keep them delayed and damaged enough to where they couldn't break through to the actual objective.
They lost about 3 turns cleaning up the units who were trapped in the Dolenz encirclement.
Yeah, on top of spending 5 or 6 turns just trying to get past Amiens.
Shout out to the Bocage for being the MVP of this battle.
Absolutely, terrain matters.
Yeah, it's across a river into Bocage, so that's really that's actually pretty good. Unless you attack it from the south, it's really hard not to crack.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that will wrap up today's stream. So this is obviously a preview of the reinforcements update. It will be coming out tentatively July 30. Probably not any later than that. So it'll be out in about a week. So you too can look forward to the lovely nature of ongoing reinforcement. Really livens the battles up in the late game because you don't know what's going to happen. Your opponent can bring on anything. You really don't know what they're going to bring. So hope you've enjoyed this preview of reinforcements update, and we hope to see you soon. The week this comes out, the weekend thereafter, so about the 31st, we will be holding PvP, player versus player Let's Play events where you can come and fight against us as the developers and the senior beta testers. So we hope to see you then, and check the CAOS news for forthcoming information. Until then, see you on the battlefield.